Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. We will make learning English both funny and effective. In this series, I will be sharing with you the exact method I use to improve my English. Every day, I will take you a page from the famous 5 on the Treasure Island. Read it with you and focusing on 20 new words from that page. Together, we will exploring their meanings, learning how to use them in the sentence, and even do some simple exercise to understand the page better. To make it easy for you, I will providing a PDF version of the book in the description box below. This step-by-step approach helping me a lot, and I am confident it will help you too. So let's start this journey together and make learning English an enjoyable experience. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me every day for a new lesson. Today, I'm exploring with you page 11 and page 12. Reading and explanation your guide to mastering English. 20 vocabulary words. Surprise, belong, boasting, coward, truthful, extraordinary, fiercely, rabbit, cormorants, galls, ruins, sulky, patience, enemies, softening, bay, castle, cottage, fair, grown up. Chapter 3. A queer story and a new friend. The three children stared at George in the greatest surprise. George stared back at them. What do you mean? Said Dick. At last, Karen Island can't belong to you. You're just boasting. No, I am not, said George. You ask, mother. If you're not going to believe what I say, I won't tell you another word more. But I don't tell untruth. I think it's being a coward if you don't tell the truth, and I am not a coward. Julian remembered that Aunt Fanny had said that George was absolutely truthful, and he scratched his head and looked at George again. How could she be possibly telling the truth? Well, of course, we'll believe you if you tell us the truth, he said. But it does sound a bit extraordinary, you know. Really, it does. Children don't usually own islands, even funny little ones like that. It isn't a funny little island, said George fiercely. It's lovely. There are rabbits there, as tame as can be, and the big cormorants sit on the other side, and all kinds of gulls go there. The castle is wonderful too, even if it is all in ruins. It sounds fine, said Dick. How does it belong to you, Georgina? George glared at him and didn't answer. Sorry, said Dick hastily. I didn't mean to call you Georgina. I meant to call you George. Go on, George. Tell us how the island belongs to you, said Julian, slipping his arm through his sulky little cousin's. She pulled away from him at once. Don't do that, she said. I am not sure that I want to make friends with you yet. All right, all right, said Julian, losing patience. Be enemies or anything you like. We don't care, but we like your mother awfully, and we don't want her to think we want to make friends with you. Do you like my mother? Said George, her bright blue eyes softening a little. Yes, she's a dear, isn't she? Well, all right, I'll tell you how Kirin Castle belongs to me. Come and sit down here in this corner where nobody can hear us. They all sat down in a sandy corner of the beach. George looked across at the little island in the bay. It's like this, she said. Here is a go. My mama's people owned nearly all the land around here. Then they got poor and had to sell most of it. But they could never sell that little island because nobody thought it worth anything, especially as the castle has been ruined for years. Fancy nobody wanted to buy a dear little island like that, said Dick. I'd buy it at once if I had the money. All that's left of what Mother's family owned is our own house, Kearing Cottage, and a farm a little way off and Kearing Island, said George. Mother says when I am grown up it will be mine. 20 words with their simple explanation. Surprise. A feeling you get when someone unexpected happiness, belong, to be owned by someone or to be part of something. Boldly, talk too proudly about yourself or what you have. Crow, someone who is afraid to do something or lacks courage. Truthful, always talking the truth, honest. Extraordinary, something very useful or special. Firstly, doing something with a lot of energy or strong feeling. Rabbit, some animals with long ears that hop and live in rows. Cormorants, large seabirds that dive into water to catch fish. Gulls, seabirds often see near the coast, also called seagulls. Ruins the broken part left after a building or structure is destroyed. Sulky, being in a bad mood and not wanting to talk or smile. Patience, the ability to wait calmly without getting opposite. Enemies, people who are ignores you or don't like you. Softening, becoming less angry, strict, or harsh. Bay, a body of water partly surrounded by land. Castle, a large, strong building where kings or queens live in the past. Cottage, a small, cozy house, usually in the countryside. Farm, a place where people grow crops or rears animals for food. Grow up, an adult, someone who is no longer a child. Now, the opposite of surprise, expectations. Bellowen, disown. Boasting, humiliate. Crowd, hero. Truthful, dishonest. Extraordinary, ordinary. Fiercely, gently. Rabbit, no directly opposite. Cormorant, no directly opposite. Gulls, no directly opposite. Ruins, restoration. Sulky, careful. Patience and patience. Enemies, friends. Softening, hardening. Bay, now directly opposite. Castle, hate. Cottage, mansion. Farm, city. Grow up, child. Now, 8 questions based on the text. Question number 1. Why were the children surprised at George's claim about Karen Island? Because George was lying, because children don't useful on island, because George was boasting, because the island was too big. In the text, a queer story and a new friend. The three children stared at George, the great surprise. George stared back at them. "What do you mean?" said Dick at last. "Curran Island can belong to you. You are just boasting." "No, I am not," said George. "You ask Mum if you are not going to believe that I said. I won't tell you another word more, but I don't tell in truth. I think it's being a crowd if you don't tell the truth, and I am not crowd." Julian remembered that Aunt Fanny had said that George was absolutely truthful, and he scratched his hand and looked at George again. "How could she be possible telling the truth?" "Well, of course we'll believe you if you tell us the truth," he said, "but it doesn't sound a bit extraordinary, you know. Really, it does. Children don't usually own islands." "Yes," is the answer. Children don't usually own islands. Because children don't usually own island. Correct answer. Now, question number 2. What does George say about people who don't tell the truth? They are brave, they are cowards, they are funny, they are kind. In the text, I won't tell you another word. Uh, you are just boasted. No, I am not, said George. You ask mother if you are not going to believe what I say. I won't tell you another word more, but I don't tell in truth. I think it's being a coward if you don't tell the truth, and I am not a coward. Yes, is the answer. George said about people who don't tell the truth, they are cowards. Yes, is the answer of the question. Question number three. What animals does George mention live on Karen Island? Dogs, cats, and birds, rabbits, cormorants, and gulls, fish, turtles, and seals, deer, foxes, and eagles. In the text, it isn't a funny little island, said George. Furiously, it's lovely. There are rabbits there, as tame as can be, and the big cormorants it's on the other side, and all kinds of gulls go there. The castle is wonderful too, even if it's all in ruins. The correct answer, rabbits, cormorants, and gulls. Yes, it's the answer. Question number four. Why did George's family sell Karen Island? Because it was too expensive, because nobody wanted to buy it, because it was a secret, because it was too far away. The answer: years ago, my mother's people owned nearly all the land around here. They they get poor and had to sell most of it, but they could never sell that little island because nobody there it worth anything. Yes, is the answer. Because nobody wanted to buy it. Because nobody wanted to buy it. How does George feel when Julian tries to put her arm around her? Happy and frantic, angry and sulky, excited and playful, sad and quiet. In the text, she pulled away from him at once. "Don't do that," she said. "I am not sure that I want to make friends with you yet." Yes, angry and sulky. Correct answer, angry and sulky. Question number six. What does Julian said about George's mother? She is strict and scared. She is kind and they like her. She is funny and loud. She is quiet and she. In the text, be enemies or anything you like. We don't care, but we like your mother awfully. Yes, is the answer. She is kind and they like her. No. Question number seven. What is the condition of the castle on Karen Island? It is brand new. It is small and cozy. It is in a ruin. It is underwater. In the text, the castle is wonderful too, even if it is all in ruins. Yes, is the answer. It is in ruins. What will happen to Kern Island when George grows up? It will be sold. It will belong to her. It will disappear. It will be given to Julian. In the end of the text, mother says, when I am growing up, it will be mine. Yes, the answer, it will belong to her, to George. To better understand and memorize the 20 words we shared today, I've prepared a series of exercises for you to following. You found the PDF in the description box. Find in the blanket conversation we can use it with yourself. Write exercise, crossword puzzle, word search puzzle, and the answer of crossword puzzle and search word puzzle and find in the blanket. I hope today's video was useful and see you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe in my channel.
Subscribe now.